Hello folks, I am Mal and welcome to Wasteland 2 Director's Cut Quick Start Guide How to Build a Team. Over the course of the next few minutes, I will rapidly take you through the construction of your Wasteland 2 team, and if you're playing on the Xbox One or the PS4 and you're just now starting your Wasteland 2 experience, welcome. Even though I am doing this from a PC perspective, all of this information will be applicable to you. Alright, so this team is built to be balanced and fun, but without being too overpowered. Now, there are groups that you can build that are just completely focused on combat, and it will limit somewhat what you're able to do from a role-playing perspective through Wasteland 2. This group is designed, again, to be fun and balanced without being overpowered. And this version of the group is being played currently on the highest difficulty level with no issues whatsoever. So with that being said, let's get to the team, which I affectionately refer to as monkeys. There are 4 core monkeys. You've got the leader, the AP, the sniper, and the skill monkey. So we'll start off real quick here with the leader monkey. Well, he's going to lead your team. He's going to provide a quote-unquote face for the group. He'll add buffs to your team via the leadership skill, and he'll provide mid-range fire support. For weapon choice, I suggest you either go with assault rifles or submachine guns. I've used shotguns effectively on this character as well, but in the director's cut version of Wasteland 2, ammo is so much easier to come by that having an additional assault rifle user, I think overall is better. It's not going to burden your group at all. It used to be very difficult to maintain multiple assault rifle users, but in Director's Cut it's not. And the assault rifle is still the best weapon class overall throughout the course of the game. It's effective at all levels, and it's effective at all points of the game, being beginning, mid, or end game. So I recommend you go with a second assault rifle user. Now, another option is actually to go with submachine guns, with the thought process that your leader is going to be taking lots of shots and therefore could be used as a debuffer, because with selective fire in Director's Cut, you can shoot people in the legs or the hands or whatever, and the action point cost to do so is quite low. So you could have your leader monkey function as a sort of a debuffer, or you could choose to just make your leader monkey more of a close range combatant, in which case you would still go with SMGs, but when you get to the quirk choice, and quirks are something you pick at the very beginning that kind of make your character a little bit different, you would take the psychopath quirk if you're going to do that. So you've got essentially 3 choices, 2 weapon choices: assault rifles or submachine guns. And if you do choose submachine guns, you then need to figure out whether or not you want to get up really close with people. And if you do, take the psychopath quirk to sort of enhance that and just focus on shooting at one target. Or you take submachine guns, and just like with assault rifles, you take no quirk choice and you use it as a debuffer. Again, I would go with assault rifles. I just want to give you options. Now, the stats are mostly optimized for combat, with the exception here being high charisma. Charisma is not needed by any character, really, but it is important for the leader monkey. So I guess I should have said it is important for him. There's no sense investing in leadership skill if you're going to have low charisma, since the leadership skill, which provides buffs for your party and debuffs for your enemies, the range of that is based on your charisma. So if you take like a 1 charisma, and a lot of people will tell you that both luck and charisma are dump stats, they are dump stats for the most part, except for this character. There's no sense in investing a lot of skill points in leadership and then having the range be like a very small 3-meter bubble around your leader. That doesn't make much sense. So if your charisma is, say, 6 or higher, then you're going to be able to have a lot of flexibility in your people moving out in combat and still having the effective bonuses that come from leadership. Alright, so for starting skills, go with a 2 in assault rifle or a 2 in submachine guns. Take a 2 in leadership skill, take a 1 in hard ass, which is one of 3 social skills used for dialogue options. So you'll be talking to whoever, a merchant or somebody you meet out in the wastes or what have you, or an NPC that's related to a quest, and a lot of times you're going to have a dialogue option that's going to be tied to either hard ass, kiss ass, or smart ass. The leader in this particular build is going to take hard ass and kiss ass. The 3rd social skill I'm actually having carried by an NPC. So you have 4 core characters that you control 100%, and then you can recruit up to 3 NPCs that will join you on your adventures in the wastes. One of those characters will be carrying Smartass for my group. Okay, I'm trying to keep this spoiler free as possible, but there'll be additional information that's available that'll tell you exactly who I'm taking, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. Okay, so again, 2 in assault rifle, 2 in submachine gun, 2 in leadership, 1 in hard ass, 1 in kiss ass. Okay, so something else you can do too is if you decide you want to have all of the social skills on your leader monkey, they're going to need to have enough skill points to make that possible. So what you could do for a quirk choice is you could take delayed gratification, and that's going to take away 1 skill point per level up to level 10, and then at a level 11 you're going to get an extra skill point. So you're basically going to start off kind of hampered a little bit in what you're able to do, but over the course of the game, those additional skill points would allow you to support having that many skills at a high level. And you don't want too many skills on any character because they're not going to be able to get them to an effective level. All right, the next character we're going to look at is the AP monkey, or the action point monkey, and this is sort of the primary frontline combatant and rogue. So she'll be responsible for dealing out damage at mid to long range. She's also going to provide thief type skills for the group. Now, if you set it up this way, the way I'm suggesting, you're actually going to be able to not only take multiple single shots with an assault rifle, but later on you're actually going to be able to take multiple burst fire shots, aimed burst fire shots at more than one target. So it's all about having access to as many action points as possible. So what we'll do is, for a quirk choice, I suggest taking Brittle Bones, which is going to give you a 50% negative in terms of mobility, so how far you can run, but it's not that big a deal. I've tested this a lot, and like I said, I have this actual build in my current team, and it really isn't a big deal. The speed rating on this character is so high anyway that even with that penalty, she can move around just fine, and the additional 2 action points coupled with other things that you get later on and other perk choices that you can take, is pretty amazing. It's good across the entire game, but especially once you get to like the midpoint and you've got a decent assault rifle, it's pretty powerful. So I suggest you go with this. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but I think it works really well. For starting skills, you're going to take a 2 in assault rifles, a 2 in safe cracking, and a 2 in lock picking. Again, this is your primary frontline combatant and then your roguish type character. And then later on, you'll end up with a 10 safe cracking and a 10 lock picking. You'll take a perk called Master Thief, which means you'll never be able to critically fail trying a lockpicking or safe cracking attempt, which is pretty phenomenal actually. That's something that was new in Director's Cut, the new perk choices, and that's a pretty powerful one. Okay, so next up we have our Sniper Monkey. Now the Sniper Monkey is going to provide long range fire support, and if you're setting up your encounters correctly, should always be the puller for any combat session you have. So he should always be the one that initiates combat. And the reason why is because a lot of times he can shoot and get a kill before combat technically even starts. So he'll fire a shot, he'll drop an enemy, and then combat will begin. Now, this character is built with such a high combat initiative, almost always is then going to go first. So it's basically you get 1 free shot, typically you'll get a kill. If you don't, then you can take another shot at that same target, and trust me, it's going down. 2 sniper shots against most things in the game, they're not going to survive. So that means that you're starting your combat with either 1 target already down or potentially 2 targets down before your enemies even get to react. So, and he's going to come up in the combat rotation often because his initiative is so high. So for quirks, it's a little different on the Sniper Monkey. I would say none, or you could go with Ascetic. Now, if you do choose that, it's going to make it where you can't use any trinkets in the game. There aren't a ton of great trinkets for the sniper. I'm sure people in the comments are going to say, you're wrong, you get plus crit and blah, blah, blah. No, okay, there's not a lot of really great trinkets for snipers because they're usually the ones that are starting combat anyway, so the ones that add even additional combat initiative is kind of overkill. You don't really necessarily need that. So you could opt for this quirk, and it'll give you +1 attribute, and it'll give you +5 skill points. And if you do choose to go down that route, then what I would say is once you're in game, which is when you'll get access to those final points that it gives you from this quirk, I would put +1 more into intelligence, and I would take sniper rifle skill up 1 more. So because with this guy, you're going to start with a 3 sniper rifle, and a couple points in weaponsmith, and that's it. And the only other thing that the sniper really needs to be concerned with is weaponsmithing. So he's going to carry weaponsmithing for the group at a high level, and then he's going to do the long range combat. If you want to give the sniper monkey a secondary close in weapon, I'm kind of torn between handguns or submachine gun. I have used both on a sniper. I've also done none because you don't technically need a secondary, but I'd have to say now, given the way Director's Cut is, I would probably go with a handgun as a secondary weapon if you want to do it. And he'll have the skill points to be able to do that, no problem. As a matter of fact, he can carry a couple of other skills for you if you want a skill like Outdoorsman, which is something I don't even ever bother with. This person could carry that for you. You are going to want to get a couple of points in perception skill on this character just until you recruit a certain NPC. And then once that happens, you don't need to invest any more points here. And you could technically get by without investing in perception at all and just have an NPC carry that skill for you. Alright, so last but not least, we have the Skill Monkey. Now, she is a mid-range, anti-mechanical combat / control person. And what that means is that as you start to get more advanced targets, there's robots and synthetics and other things in the game. When you start fighting those targets, they have heavy armor. A lot of it is metallic, and the way the game sort of addresses balance is it says, okay, that's conductive armor, and energy weapons will do additional damage to conductive armor. Now, the flip side of that is they basically don't do anything against non-conductive armor, and energy weapons are pretty much worthless in the first half of the game. So what you want to kind of almost consider your energy weapon user is like a mage, right? Or a wizard from, if this was a fantasy setting, they're not very powerful. They're not all that helpful in combat until later, right? And then later they really come into their own. That's the same thing with the energy weapon combatant. So matter of fact, one of the most powerful games you can get in the game is recoverable in the first half while you're still in Arizona. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you look that up. I'd hate it for anybody to miss out on that. But the energy weapon user carrying that weapon can really help out the group in mid to late game. The other thing then really the primary thing the Skill Monkey is going to do for you is carry a whole lot of skills and at a high level. So to start off, you're going to take a 1 in energy weapon, which you don't even have to do. That's really just so that you start with some kind of a weapon and a few energy cells. If you want to, you can just allocate those points somewhere else and build up energy weapons later. You take a 1 in mechanical repair, a 1 in alarm disarm, a 1 in computer science, a 1 in field medic, and a 1 in surgeon. Now, as far as computer science goes, not only do you need that skill to hack different computers and different things as you go along, but computer science can also be used to hack some of those enemies and have them work for you. So, and that's potentially very, very powerful. So that's the other kind of combat related thing that the Skill Monkey will bring to the group. And that's it, really. So you've got a complete team of monkeys. You're really ready to go. Now, your 3 NPCs that I talked about, I don't want to spoil that for you, but there are links in the description of this video that'll take you to a spreadsheet. It details all the information about the team. It talks about the NPCs that I use with this build. So make sure you check out that before you build your team. And please note that sheet has spoilers on it. So you've been warned, because there's very specific places that you go and things that you do in order to use that build 100%. Now, if you decide that you don't want to do that, if you don't want to use the NPCs that I use, that's okay. There's enough flexibility with the Skill Monkey and with the Sniper Monkey in terms of skill points that you can move things around no problem. And you can have all the essential skills in your core 4 if that's what you want to do. Okay, now, I also have an in-depth explanation of all the stats and skills. So if you want to see that, you can check out my other team building guide. I also have a guide for what to do in your first 2 hours of gameplay and how to best handle combat. So I'll put those up on the screen here. Click whatever you want or check in the description of this video. All the links will be there. I hope that you found this guide helpful. Consider hitting that thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I am Mal, and I will see you later.